everyone, welcome back. My name is Bhaviksha. In this video, we'll be looking at present continuous tense. So let's go. Let's start the session by the definition of present continuous tense. And as usual, I'll be explaining them in two ways. One will be briefly and the other one will be so simple. Let's start with a briefly explanation. Present continuous tense narrates an action which is being continued or going to be continued in the near future. It uses am, is, are, and ing is added with the verb. Now let's see some examples. Verb plus ing. We'll see some examples under that clue word. Do, which is a verb, plus ing, which is the helping verb of present continuous tense. So we'll get the verb or the word doing. Okay. Another example of the same clue word, it is read, which is a verb, and the helping verb of present continuous tense, which is ing, we get the word reading. Okay. Now let's move on with a shortly explanation. For this one, I'll be using the help of a timeline. Okay, for this one, if you may closely look that there is 3 points pointing past, present, future. Over here, how do I explain where is the present continuous presented? Means like there's an action which is being now, but it is not completed. Okay, which is not completed, but it will be completed in the near future. For example, I am teaching. I did not end my teaching here, but I'll end my teaching in the near future. Am is are plus verb, which is ing plus ing. Okay, if we may ask, why do we use am for and is for and are for? Let's start with the first one, am. Okay, am is only used for I, like I am teaching. For is, he, she, and it, which are the third person singulars. Okay, for an example for that, them is he is teaching, she is teaching, it is teaching. For are is you and the other two, plural subject, which are they and we. Okay, we say that you are teaching, they are teaching, we are teaching. Okay, so that makes the sentence complete into a present continuous tense. Let's move on. Examples. Okay, what this man is doing? He is dancing. Over here, if we closely look at the sentence, he is a third person singular. Okay, so we use the word. What word should we use? Am, is, or are? He is a third person singular, so we use is. Dancing, dance, if we split them into two, dance over here will be the verb and ing is the helper verb. Okay, so we get this sentence complete and it is a present continuous tense. Let's move on. What this man is doing? He is walking. Over here, if we closely look, we are again using is because it is on he, which is a third person singular. Okay, but what if we change the sentence into they? The subject will be changed into they. So we don't say they is walking. We say they are walking. Okay, let's move on. Examples. What this boy is doing? Let's see. He is jumping. Okay, he is jumping. Again, we're using is. That's because it is a third person singular, which means he is a third person singular, right? So we use the word is. Okay. Now let's see some examples of present continuous tense. I'll be dividing them into three parts. One is positive, next one is negative, and the last one is in a question format. Okay, if you may ask, how will I write in a positive sentence? Okay, first one, you have to write the subject. Okay, and then you guys have to write the be verb, which is am, is, and are. Okay, but you can't write for I. For example, if you are having the subject as I, you can't write I is. It has a separate be verb. Okay, according to the subject, only you have to add the be verb. Remember that. Okay, and after that you have to write the verb plus ing. Okay, that's how you make a positive sentence. If you may ask, how will I write in a negative sentence? I write just the normal way, but after the be verb you find, you have to just simply write not. Okay, let's move on. How will we write in a question sentence? Just simple. Okay, you have to bring the be verb in the first place and the subject into the second place, and let the verb plus ing in its own. Let it be in the third last place itself. Okay, no need to do anything to it. Now let's see some example. I am studying. I is the verb and am is the be verb and studying is verb plus ing. Okay, how will it be in a negative sentence? I'm not studying. How will it be in a question sentence? It will be like, am I studying? Let's move on with the second one. You are playing. How will we write it in a negative sentence? You aren't playing. Okay, aren't is made of two words, which is are and not. They are a contraction. Question sentence. How will we write it in a question sentence? Are you playing? She is walking. The last example. She is walking. How will we write it in a negative sentence? We write like she isn't walking, which is also known as she is not walking. How will we write it in a question format? We write like, is she walking? Okay, now let's move on. As we've come to the end of our session, we'll have an activity to recap on what is a which is a present continuous tense. Okay, let's see what are the sentences. I am talking. We aren't cooking. Are they singing? Let's move on with the answers. Now let's discuss the answer. The first question. I am talking. What format does that in? Yes, it is in a positive sentence. How will it look in a negative format? Let's see. I am not talking. How will it be in a question format? Am I talking? Let's move on with the second one. We aren't cooking. Over here, we can also say it as we are not cooking. Okay, that's because I'm combining two words which are and not, and when I shorten them, I get aren't. They are called contractions. If you want to know more about contraction, I already made a video about contraction and I'll send you a card. It will appear and you can click that and you may know more about what is a contraction. Now let's move on back to the answers. We aren't cooking. Over here, aren't, we use not. So it is a negative sentence. How will it look in a positive manner? It will look like we are cooking, right? Now, how will we look it in how will we look it in a question manner? Yes, we'll see like, are we cooking? Now let's move on with the third question. Are they singing? That is a question here. Which format is that in? Yes, this in a question format. How will we write it in a positive format? They are singing. How will we write it in a negative format? They aren't singing. Okay? If you guys wrote all these answers, you guys are correct. And as we have come to the end of our session, I hope you understand what is a present continuous tense. So let's see you in the next video. Bye for now.